Hello, my great students. Welcome to a new session of English during the quarantine. Just kidding, my friends. I hope you are still doing fine and enjoying your time at home. I hope you're being so productive and working to get the best we can out of this. In this session, we're going to review this topic, which is adverbs. And many of you may say, this is not a so relevant topic, Professor. We already know all of it. Well, I think there are still one or two tricks that we haven't mastered from this adverb topic. And that is why I decided to include it in our program. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed this explanation, but please pay attention. It may get confusing at some points, but I mean, you guys manage to understand the relative clauses, so this is going to be a walk in the park. Okay, I want you to be ready for this, and I don't want you to commit mistakes when using the adverbs. Okay, let's go on. And first of all, what are adverbs? And adverbs are a part of a speech that modifies adjectives and also other adverbs. Oh yeah. In this case, it says you can use adverbs before adjectives and adverbs. Okay, that's what I told you. To introduce the following ideas. What are the following ideas? First, you can use an adverb to introduce the idea of degree, and common adverbs for this are extremely, highly, relatively. Okay? And in an example, it may look like this. They are extremely literate and highly skilled. Okay? Another idea is the idea of type, and you may find these two adverbs, but I mean, we all know that language is vast. These adverbs are just examples, okay? Don't believe that they are the only ones that you can use, okay? But this is just to say that you are introducing the idea of type, and you can say scientifically and linguistically, just to give you some examples. Linguistically, intelligent people are good at languages, okay? If you notice that majority of adverbs end with ly, yes? ly. That's the ending that the majority of adverbs possess. But pay attention, because fast doesn't have this easy way of putting it. Fast is an irregular adverb. You cannot say fastly. You say fast as an adjective and fast as an adverb. Okay, I hope you guys got that. You don't say fastly, my friends. And say it again. Don't say fastly. Don't say she runs very fastly. No, she runs very fast. Okay. After very, you are already given in the sense that you are using an adverb. Okay. Another one that is another adjective that doesn't follow the rule of adding ly to transform it into an adverb is good. You don't say that is goodly. You say that is well. Okay? So you pay attention to those. Those are irregular adverbs. Don't say goodly, say well. Okay? How are you doing? I'm doing well. That should be the correct form of response. Well, how do we use it? How you doing? And we say, I'm doing good. Well, let me tell you that is grammatically incorrect. But since even native speakers use that form, we tend to accept it. And it is all right, okay? We're not so Puritans here. Moving on with the idea here, the idea of type, and then if you want to express an idea of opinion, you say incredibly, say remarkably, again, just examples of adverbs. And then a sentence could look like this. They seem to solve problems incredibly easily. Okay, remember the definition of the adverbs? They modify adjectives and they also modify other adverbs. Okay, in this case, this is another adverb. Another idea with adverbs could be focus. If you want to express that idea in your sentence or in your speech, you can say especially. Notice here, when you say special as an adjective, goes without the E. But if you say especially as an adverb, add the E. Pay attention to those details, my friends, because those little tiny things are the ones that make you look as if you know the language. If you commit these tiny mistakes, native speakers could notice that you're not such a great user of English. An example of this, people with logical intelligence are especially good at math. Okay. Going on to the next, common errors. Don't use an adjective to describe another adjective. Example of this, I am very physical active. Physical is an adjective, active is another adjective, and that is not correct. I am very physically active should be the correct form. Okay? Don't use an adjective to transform or to modify another adjective. That doesn't work. That is not correct. Although we have some exceptions. For example, slow. You say, she walks so slow, right? We've heard that one. We've seen it in movies, in common speech. Okay? Native speakers use it like that. So pay attention to that one. Slow. They don't say slowly. They commit a lot. Native speakers commit a lot of grammatical mistakes when they speak. But that is because when you speak, it's less formal than when you write. Okay? When you write, make sure you use everything properly in place. Adverb, then adjective. Okay? Moving on. Well plus adjective. I told you the adjective is good. The adverb is well. Okay? And then another adjective. Example of this, you can use well before adjectives. And when you use that, well means very or very much. Example. I am well aware of my abilities. Would it be the same if you had I am very aware of my abilities? Yes. Same meaning, but when you use well, you sound more professional. Another example. I am well educated and well trained. Can you say I am very educated and very well trained? Yes, you can use that. It means the same. You are just using different words. Moving on. More examples. He wasn't well prepared for the exam. He was well short of the 90% he needed. Check this one out. Add a hyphen when well plus adjective comes before a noun. So what's a noun? Any thought, thing, person that you can think of. That is a noun. Example. Where do you see the noun here? The noun is person. You have well plus adjective before. You see it? It's here. It's before the noun. That is why you use the hyphen. I am also a well-organized and well-informed person. You see, when you have the noun at the end, all the forms of well plus adjective should include the hyphen. Okay, this little tiny line here. Are we good up to this point? I hope we are. You can use well in a number of fixed expressions. this is based on corpus, my friends. And corpus is the study of language being used by native speakers of English. In this case, English, because this is what we are studying. What goes with well? Well off. What other one goes with well? Well known. I believe you've seen them in a lot of texts and movies and speech and audios and songs. Yes? Well thought out, well behaved, well written, and well dressed. Those are probably the most common examples that you're going to find with well plus something else. Okay? My teacher said my poem was well written. What are we talking about here? The poem, right? This is your noun. Your immediate noun before well plus adjective. In this case, that is why you don't have the hyphen, because you have the noun first and then the well plus adjective form. I hope that you guys see that. And then what happens in this one? Peace. Peace is a noun, and then you have the well plus adjective component. That's why you have the well plus hyphen and then the adjective. He said it was a well-written piece. See the difference? Noun at the end, well plus hyphen. Noun first, and then well at the end, no hyphen. Pay attention to those details, my friends. She must be very well off now that she is a well-known architect. You see this? Noun at the end. That's why you need the hyphen. Well off. Fixed expression. What does it mean? Well off. You're making money. You are well off now. Well off means that you are affluent. You're making the green. Yes? A point for the one that knew well off. The meaning of well off. Let me know in the live video, my friend. I'll give you a point. But be honest. Moving on. Adverbs and adjective collocations. Professors, can you tell us what collocations are? Collocations are words that go together greater than chance. Holy Jesus. I'm bringing all the UG power, my friends. Where are you going now? Go into the examples. I don't want you guys to get bored with all of this. Certain adverbs are commonly used with certain adjectives. Pay attention. 100% of the time, you may find the adverb completely and then the adjective different, new, unknown, separate, safe, unrealistic. And you may find a text that says completely unknown. Yes, you see that? There's a connection between them, and people use them greater than chance. Completely different, completely unrealistic. If you see this adverb, one of these adjectives may follow. Not 100% of the time, as it says here, because language is so vast, but there is a great chance that it happens this way. Moving on, going forward. The adverb entirely. And then with entirely, you could find different, new, sure, possible. Those are adjectives, right? They go together. Entirely different, entirely possible, entirely appropriate. Have you seen that in examples of the text? I hope you notice those things when you do your exercises. The adverb, totally. And this one goes with the adjectives. Different, wrong, false, honest, convinced, unacceptable, irrelevant. Okay, you can say totally irrelevant. Professor, this session is totally irrelevant because I know all of it. Great. But I hope I'm not wasting your time here and you're picking up at least the input that I'm providing you with. Because I hope you guys are practicing your English. I don't want you to forget. And you use the adverb virtually, and then the adjectives could be impossible, unknown, identical, Altogether, they say virtually identical. Oh, you are increasing your vocabulary here, my friends. Pay attention to these expressions so you can increase your vocabulary. Okay, and don't keep on speaking with like separate chunks of information. With this, you can make your speech and your writing more interesting. Highly, another example of adverb, and it goes with all of these adjectives. Do you need an explanation for this? No, enough of explanations, Professor. Move on. We want this thing to be over with. I understand. Then the adverb widely, and then widely available, widely known, widely accepted, widely respected. And you see this? The ed ending. This is to give you a heads up. These are still adjectives. Okay, they may look like verbs in the past or past participle, but they are adjectives as well. Okay, the ed and the ing, remember? Those are still adjectives. Don't be fooled by just the common forms of adjectives. Pay attention to ed, and I didn't include any ing example. You can find adjectives that end with ing, as interesting. That is an adjective. Yes? I believe that is it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope that you are well, that you're having a great time at home, as I mentioned before. Please don't stop studying, don't stop preparing, because when we go back to the classroom, we are going to rock it, my friends. We are going to speak a lot of English. We're going to use this language a lot. All we need here is practice. If you see the grammar and you identify the structures and everything, and you may say, well, this is kind of boring now. Well, all you need is practice. That's why in the classroom, I wanted to introduce you to these new ways of giving speech and presenting materials, interesting materials, so you could have this opportunity to expand your views of English. So you could use the English in a real environment, and you could see how you perform. Unfortunately, the quarantine messed up all my plans, and I think everybody's plans. But hey, let's work with what we have. Be safe, and see you the next time.